Hello everyone, this is K9SA, and I am bringing you a kind of discussion review thing on Beelzebub. If you've been keeping up with the manga, then I'm guessing that you might be just as lost as I am. As in, the manga has been skipping around and over and under places, just kind of jumping all over the place. Like, at first I thought I was missing chapters, because first it started off because it started when like Olga and the others are supposed to be training, and out of nowhere we see like students on the ground at the end of one chapter, and the wet nurses are there, but they don't show themselves. It's like, oh, next chapter the wet nurses are gonna show up in something, and he's like, no, Olga's on a boat the next chapter, going to an island to go train. It's like, and I'm like, what? Wait, did I miss a chapter where the wet nurses were? Like, they confronted them? And it's like, no, you didn't miss a chapter. It's like, this is what the author did. They just kind of skipped ahead. I'm like, oh, alright. I can accept that. That's not too bad. Okay. So I'm reading. Next is there. Like, eventually they do show the wet nurses and them telling the people that they need to be trained. But that's later, like, they just appear like it's just normal or something. It's just, I'm like, shouldn't they have appeared earlier, like when you foreshadowed them being in the next chapter? It's like, no, we don't want to put them there, or put them in this random chapter while the people without powers are training. So they finally go to the island, Olga's little island art chapter, where he's supposed to be him and Oya, I can't remember her name, are supposed to be training. So that's what they're gonna do together. And so they wind up, her and Olga have to fight to see which one is going to be trained. After they fight some dolls, and the master lady comes and tries to help them. And then the next, like, that chapter ends on like them both drunk and whatnot. That chapter, and then the next chapter starts with, oh, hi, Olga and them are done training. It's like, what? What do you mean they're done training? Like, we're not gonna see the results of the training? No. No, you're not gonna see the results of the training. No. No. The training's done. It's like, oh, well, alright then. That's, I can't really argue with that. We'll let that one go. Alright. So you're reading the chapter, and then at the end of the chapter, that said chapter, it's like, Olga Hilda's been captured, and bad things are gonna happen. Yoda's here. It's like, oh, they were gonna rape Yoda a chapter before, and Hilda came and saved her. We all know manga rapist is wrong. So, Hilda saved her from that, but after coming back from it, Olga just automatically goes to school and starts the battle thing. The battle arc that was supposed to happen with like all the students. It's like just Olga. He just decides to take out the whole school by himself, and it's like, what is going on here? It's like, is the author trying to rush, or it's like, is he even told that he has to cancel the series or something? I'm not entirely sure, because he's like, it feels like he's rushing through like his chapters in a way, because it's just, there was no training or any, like, no training is actually being seen in Beelzebub for some reason. I guess he's trying to make it different from other mangas, because we never did see what happened after the whole Biel versus Black Biel when he spouted his wings. We didn't see any of that, like, training going on. That kind of cut off, and he came back out of nowhere. But during this new chapter that came out, they showed that he can take up to 4,400 cc's of milk time. So that was the result of his training. But also they showed that he does have a black technique. He just shows off for no reason. Like, he hits that guy with the black technique for, I don't think, any reason other than just to show off that he can actually use a black technique. It's like, why? Like, what was the point? Like, you could have had him use that, like, when he really needed to. like to go bust down a giant wall or barrier. It's like, no, let's use it on this one guy just to show how powerful it is. It's like, that's uncalled for, but alright, if that's what you want to do, we'll let it go. Like, can't do anything about it. So, that chapter ends with Tojiro coming out of nowhere. He's like, I finally found a place to sleep, and you guys are welcoming me up. And it's like, that's right, Tojiro, I've been wondering where Tojiro's been. Like, that's what, because he came out not too long ago in a dream that somebody was having. And he's like, I haven't gotten any screen time. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Where has he been? So I guess next chapter we're going to see him fight or explain what he's been up to without show training, because Beelzebub doesn't like showing what people have been training to do. It's just something, I guess, I don't know, I feel like this manga's being rushed for some reason. It's there, like, stuff is just, a lot of stuff is being skipped and unexplained and not being seen. Like, I feel like there should have been a little bit more of what happened with Black BL, that Milk Time was created. Like, we don't know how that was created. It just came. He just brought it up. Like, oh, we have this milk that allows us to meet a channel the king. It's like, oh, alright. That explains nothing. Like, when did you have time to where'd you get this milk from? Like, what was this idea? It's like, alright, whatever then. Nothing much we can do about that. So, I'm thinking that this is going to be a fairly short arc, because it was supposed to be the whole school of delinquents, like the delinquent students versus the demons, and it's just Olga and Tojiro, and they're like the powerhouses of everything, so they're about to go wreck shop. So it's pretty much guaranteed that this will be ending soon, or that they might not save Hilda in time. Most likely, they probably won't save Hilda in time, and that'll just be shattering to Olga and everybody, because that was their main plan, to go out there and save Hilda. But sadly, they won't get that opportunity. Possibly. It's most likely. I doubt that they're gonna... Well, I don't know. Beelzebub is really unpredictable in a way. So, who knows what could happen. So I think I've rambled on long enough. I just want to know put your comments and concerns on if you feel that Beelzebub is also being, like, rushed. Like, what's going on, and because I'm kind of feel like chapters are missing. But that might be because I read a lot of mangas where, like Naruto, where they show like training for a period of time, and they switch over to the main story, and then they show off the results of the training. But I might just be going crazy. So, alright. Thanks.